Welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I'm Rusty Peace. We got a great show in store for you tonight. A lot of LMU athletics taking place over the last week or so, and without a doubt, we are going to talk about all of that and much, much more. Our guest tonight will be Scott Erland of the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Information Office. We'll talk with him a little bit later on. It's all coming up next. We've got volleyball to talk about this week, golf, men's and women's, both men's and women's soccer, and much, much more. Now, I need to tell you also, we're going to be talking a little bit tonight about the new LMU Athletics website, which is www.lmurailsplitters.com. Scott's going to tell us all about it, what you can expect on that website. And if you haven't seen it yet, you need to go visit it, www.lmurailsplitters.com. You'll find out everything you want to know about Lincoln Memorial University Athletics. And we will go into depth on that a little bit later on. All right, we're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, we'll talk about how Jenny Michael and the LMU volleyball team have done over the last week or so. Stay with us here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Get your ass out. You're not in here.
Yes, I am.
Move. Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
All right, let's get it turned up. Last weekend, Jenny Michael and the Lincoln Memorial University volleyball team traveled to Greenville, Tennessee in an effort to bounce back from their season-opening weekend of play, which saw the Lady Railsplitters win one of 4 matches in Evansville, Indiana. Sporting a 1-3 record, the LMU women entered Greenville set to play Lander, Belmont Abbey, Flagler, and King. And despite a 3-0 setback in the opening match of that classic with Lander, which Michael thought her team could have won, the Lady Railsplitters were able to win the final 3 outings to emerge from the weekend at 4-4 on the season. On Tuesday evening, the Lady Railsplitters hosted Mars Hill College in their conference and home opener. LMU came out in the first 2 sets of the evening and reeled off a narrow 27-25 and 25-22 win before allowing the Lions to make a late set comeback in the 3rd set to take a 25-23 decision over LMU and to push the match to a 4th set. In set 4, however, despite another late charge by Tony Fontenelle's club, LMU held on for a 25-23 victory to move above the 500 mark for the first time this year as they prepare to hit the road in conference action this weekend. After the match, we talked with Michael about the win and about her team's effort.
OTG, it's the place to be, and now joining us here at courtside for the Old Town Grill post-game wrap-up, it is Jenny Michael, head coach of the Lady Railsplitters. Coach, it's been a pretty strong run for you here over the last 5 matches. You've taken 4 out of 5. This one didn't come, I think, as quickly as you would have liked it, but, you know, this young team in the end, I thought was led by some veterans on the team that came in and sparked us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great perspective on it. You know, we have some youth that's very talented, but particularly inexperienced and inconsistent, even more so. And we really had some, you know, even though we lost that 3rd set, You know, we had some senior leadership come in who gave us a spark, you know, defensively. I mean, she behaved like a senior. She put it all on the line. This is her last year, you know, talking about Miss Monica, of course. And, you know, I really thought with the energy that she brought, I thought for sure that we had that third set and we were going to be getting out of here. And just, you know, I don't even know what it was. We had like 5 hitting errors in a row at the end of that set. It seemed like 50, but, you know.
The LMU women hit the road when they traveled to Salisbury, North Carolina Friday evening to take on SAC opponent Catawba College, and then Saturday move over to Charlotte to take on Queens University. In talking with Michael after Tuesday's match, she realizes that her team's going to have to step up their game a notch if they're to compete with Catawba and Queens on the road.
Coach, you got Catawba Friday night. You go to Queens on Saturday. Obviously, it's a big weekend for you. This team's going to have to be very focused to go out on the road and capture wins over those 2 opponents.
Absolutely. You know, we got to get it together for conference play. There are no nights off in this conference. I mean, you have a legit 22 matches in a row that you have to bring your A game. And at any point in time against any opponent, if you just have, you know, a B, even a B plus, you will not be successful. I mean, you have to bring it in this conference, and it's exciting. And you know, when we're recruiting girls, we look for girls who want to be a part of that competitiveness day in and day out, because it's a grind. I mean, it is relentless. You know, we are practicing hard every day in practice to prepare us for these opportunities. And you mentioned, you know, being able to go to the bench tonight. You know, we're not necessarily still set on a starting lineup. I mean, I know we maybe shouldn't be saying that we're already, you know, 3 weeks into the season, but, you know, we're struggling with that consistency. We're never sure, you know, exactly who's going to show up and play. So we do have the opportunity, you know, not to play head games with people, but just to be realistic. If you're not getting it done, if you're not taking advantage of your opportunities, we have other people who have been earning opportunities in practice. We're going to give it to them in a match as well.
Are we looking for Allison Beavers to be back in the lineup this weekend?
No. We won't have her.
Okay.
Her return time is still undetermined.
Okay, well, Coach, congratulations. You've won 4 out of your last 5. Obviously, you won your home opener and your SAC opener tonight. You're 1-0 in the league. Can't be any better than that in the league right now. But the next step to Rock Hill, or whoever, we're not Rock Hill, Salisbury. I beg your pardon. This year is going to be Friday night at Catawba, and that's going to be a tall order to fill.
Absolutely.
Friday's match with the Indians is set to get underway at 7 p.m. in Salisbury, while Saturday's match with the Royals will get underway at 2 o'clock. And turning to men's golf, on Monday, Travis Muncie and the Lincoln Memorial University men's golf team opened the 2014 fall schedule when they traveled down to Kiowa Island, South Carolina for the annual Kiowa Island Invitational held at Cougar Point Golf Club. The tournament was originally scheduled to be a 2-day event, but was shortened due to inclement weather that had moved into the South Carolina area. While only Monday's round of play was recorded in the books, the Railsplitters were able to finish the event 3 strokes under par to take a 4th place finish among the 18 teams participating. The Railsplitters team score of 285 was only 2 strokes back of tournament winner Erskine College, who posted a round of 283, while Flagler, USC Aiken, Armstrong State all rounded out the top 5 teams in the event. This Monday and Tuesday, the Railsplitter men's golf team will go down to Lake Javita Golf Course for the St. Leo Invitational. That'll be in Dade City, Florida, while the men's golf B team and the women's program will play at the Etowah Intercollegiate in Etowah Valley, North Carolina, and we'll have results next week as to how all of those teams fare. And in women's soccer, turning to last week's play, last week Helly Odana and the Lady Railsplitter soccer teams returned to Harrigan after opening the 2014 schedule on the road down in Columbus, Georgia the previous weekend. The Lady Railsplitters suffered a loss in the opening match of the season that weekend when they were upended by number 2 nationally ranked West Florida 3-1 before bouncing back on Sunday to defeat Mount Olive College 2-0. In last Saturday's home conference opener, the LMU women went toe-to-toe with Coker College before giving up what turned out to be the game-winning goal in the 62nd minute of the match. The loss put the LMU women below the 500 mark for the first time this season, and their overall record now at 1-2. On Wednesday, the Lady Railsplitters again took the field at the LMU Soccer Complex to play host to non-conference NAI opponent Georgetown College. Despite a slow start, the Lady Railsplitters got the offense rolling in about 16.5 minutes in when Michelle Hunter tallied the first goal of the day with help from teammate Christina Joseph. Less than 5 minutes later, forward Olivia Thompson also scored with help from teammate Kristen Cook to give LMU a 2-0 cushion, which they eventually carried into the half. As the second half got underway, LMU took a commanding lead with goals in the 55th and 63rd minutes by Michelle Hunter, who again scored, this time unassisted, and Fernanda Miachi, who was assisted by teammate Maddie Nagy. Georgetown's Mackenzie Zimmer tallied the Tigers' only offense of the day in the 68th minute, but LMU quickly extended the margin of victory to 4 goals again with less than 2 minutes to play when Nagy hit teammate Sam Davis to give LMU's women a 5-1 win over Georgetown. Now 2-2 overall this weekend. The Lady Railsplitters travel down to Newberry, South Carolina to take on the Wolves of Newberry College. Match time is set for 3:30 in that event. And the Lincoln Memorial University men's soccer team also got in 2 matches last week. After opening the year with a 3-0 and a 1-0 shutout of the University of Alabama Huntsville and Shorter College in the opening 2 matches of the year, last Saturday the Railsplitters hosted league opponent Coker College in their home and conference opener. Entering the match with the Cobras, despite having recorded back-to-back shutouts in the first 2 matches of the season, the Railsplitter offense had been unable to generate a goal in the first half of play in 90 minutes of action this year. That was also the case in Saturday's bout with Coker, as the Railsplitters went the first 45 minutes and 57 seconds of the match without scoring a goal until midfield forward Leonardo da Silva scored the first of 2 goals on the afternoon with help from teammate and countryman Yuri Passos less than a minute into the match. Second half, that is. The goal gave the Railsplitters some breathing room until Coker's Jordan Snell made a run down the left side to score unassisted and to tie the match at 1-1 in the 77th minute and eventually push the issue into overtime. After playing to the end of regulation in the 1-1 tie, LMU continued their offensive pressure in the extra period until they finally hit the back of the net when Keegan Sanders assisted Da Silva for his second goal at the 98:54 mark. Following Saturday's win over Coker, Tuesday afternoon, Diana and his Railsplitters learned that their most recent victory had also afforded them a spot in the NSCAA Top 25 in this week's poll, but also a spot in the top 4 of the NCAA Southeast region. Wednesday afternoon, the Railsplitters took the field to host Southeast region opponent North Georgia shortly after that call at the LMU Soccer Complex, and as has been the case now in 3 of their 4 matches this season, the Railsplitters were able to pitch a 2-0 shutout over the Nighthawks with goals from sophomore Nick Bogeman and Nathaniel Johnson. After the match, we talked with Bogeman and defensive player of the match Marcel Barvanitz about the winning effort.
Definitely, I feel like every person on our team plays a different role in the team, you know? From 1 to 33, 34, they can make a difference when they come into the game, and that's good.
True, yeah. I think we worked together very well this year. You know, a lot of talking back there, the young guys put in a lot of work. I think we just overall do a good job, you know, communicate very well, and I think that's it.
While both Bogeman and Barvanitz are happy about the team's win, and talking with Heli O'Dana about Wednesday's match, he praised the team's effort, but he was realistic about the weekend's road test with Newberry and what it would take for his team to win that difficult match.
Oh yeah, I mean, every game matters. You know, there's not one day that you can say, all right, today we're going to take it easy, because we don't have a single non-regional game. You know, that's the way we had to schedule, because if you don't, we don't qualify. That's how it is. And so it counts twice. It counts for the conference, it counts for the regional rankings, and I mentioned this before, if you win the conference, you're not assured to go. You know, we have the goal to win the conference, so it's important to get titles for the school and get banners on the field, but we want to go to nationals. You know, we really, really feel that we're overdue.
This weekend's matches with Newberry will be a twin bill with the Lady Railsplitters and are set to get underway at 1 p.m. and I believe 3:30 in Newberry, South Carolina. With that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk with Scott Erland of the LMU Sports Information Office. Stay with us here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Did you take your medicine? Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse.
You need a claim number?
Her personal assistant.
Let me just grab a...
Her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. If you haven't already seen it, if you go online and you pull up www.lmurailsplitters.com, you're going to see a whole new look to the LMU Athletics website. Now, with that new look, a lot of new features. There's a Fan Central on there geared specifically for all of you out there who are Lincoln Memorial University athletic fans. You got a lot of different places on there for the prospective student athlete, the student athlete that you go in and fill out paperwork and so forth. Scott Erland of the Sports Information Office joins us periodically from time to time to talk about some of these type things. Scott, what was the decision? What prompted the decision to move from athleticsite.com to Sidearm Sports and to the new website?
Well, we knew we kind of all wanted a change in that office, and me and Bill had both done some research together and separately and a lot of the websites I would just initially come upon would say, oh, that's a Sidearm website. That was a Sidearm. And it happened more and more. You know, Sidearm website, they run a lot of Division I schools. They're running more and more. They get more and more clients every day. It's just a much more interactive website, and we saw just the possibilities that company could provide us at least, and it was an easy decision for us, honestly.
There are many different companies out there that do athletic sites. I think athleticsite.com is one that does one in the Southeast. Sidearm is a little more exposed than that. But throughout college athletics, for the most part, the standard in terms of statistics is Stat Crew. How is Sidearm Sports compatible to Stat Crew in terms of the way those statistics are posted and accessible?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's actually even better, really, than it was with Athletics Site because statistics, it implements it. If you've seen anybody out there, I know, Rusty, you've seen them, the post-game recaps, they look great, where it automatically integrates all of the leaders from that individual game. We actually even noticed last night that we have the bottom line of our website. It's almost like an ESPN type game, just update. So if you go on the website while an event is going on, as was men's soccer last night, it'll show you the status of that game on the bottom line. It's like a ticker, basically. And then, of course, the new Sidearm Live Stats program are much more interactive, much more, let's say, colorful to look at, just much more. It's not is such a toned down, simple form. So in terms of Stat Crew, I think it's almost better how we are now able to integrate that in, and we also have a new stat look in the HTML stats as opposed to the old format. So I think it's great.
In addition to the site now being a little more, let's call it eye-appealing, a little more user-friendly in that way, there's a lot of features on the site that we did not necessarily have with athleticsite.com. Let's take the Fan Central portion of it, for instance. We haven't really implemented this feature yet, but we're in the process of it. We can now archive games. We can archive our different broadcasts and our TV shows as well. But I'm seeing a lot more video than we have seen in the past. I'm seeing audio in certain cases, but just tell us about some of the different features in addition to that one.
Well, there's obviously a ton of media features that we can do now. It's just a lot easier to add a video, and you can attach a video, and as opposed to just a link, you can actually attach it right there where it's easy, just accessible just to click it with a release. And then just it's so much easier to market our athletes in our department in general now because we've got stuff such as pop-ups. You know, we can do ad pop-ups, we can do countdowns, we can do just any number of things that allow us we can archive audio, just things that we weren't necessarily able to do on athletic site. Not to take anything away from athletic site, we had a great relationship and partnership with them for the last 10 years or so, but now we're just able to do so much more, branch out in terms of the ways, the formats we're allowed to we are allowed to, let's say, promote our athletic department and our student athletes.
We don't have examples that we can show you here while we're on the show today, but if you go to the website and we'll use men's soccer for example, and you went to the men's soccer schedule page, hyperlinks on there for various things, be it the statistics from the match on Wednesday afternoon or Saturday. You've got links, I think, that are actually linked to the individual schools that we play by clicking on the icon. But there's a lot of different features on this website. I think you're really going to like it. You're going to find it very interactive, very user-friendly, and for the most part, it's just a fresh new look with a new face for the athletics department. Now, along with that, the decision has been made recently to implement a new LMU Athletics logo. In years past, we've had the interlocking, we've had the block lettering. This is more of a, we've been kind of talking about it like an MTSU type look on the sharpened block logo letters, but they've slanted that a little bit and run a diagonal version for the new basketball arena floor and so forth, and that gives us a more of an identity, a brand, if you will, for the athletics department itself.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not a whole lot different than the logo we had before, but it's just edgier, fresher look, and it looks great for anyone who's not been in the arena yet. The new floor, it looks great. It's just eye-popping, and now we're still getting it implemented in because the logo just got approved about a week ago. But it's a great fresh look, and I know there is another logo that's coming up through that whole approval process that we should be able to unveil soon, and I just think that it's something that the athletic department needed in terms of where we could brand just athletics separately in its own way from the university.
All this coming around at the same time, the new website, the new logo, we've had the addition of men's and women's lacrosse, which will get started in the spring, men's and women's track and field that's coming up in the next year and a half or so. This is kind of taking us, we're already into the new century, but we're kind of taking us into a different decade here, into a different era of Lincoln Memorial University athletics with all this coming at once. And not to discredit anything in athletics at all, folks, but things had gotten to be to the point where we'd had the same logo for a while, the same styles and so forth. Things were getting a little stale, and I think this brings us up to, as you said, a more fresh look or a fresher look, whichever is more grammatically correct. But I think that the prospective student athlete, the parents, they're all going to find all this very interesting, and it's going to be all part of a huge package to entice those individuals to come to school here and play their collegiate career here at LMU.
Yeah, and like you said, there have been a ton of changes here at our athletic department, and they've happened really quick. Of course, like you said, track and field, that'll be a bridge program. They're going to do mostly long distance running, some faster sprint events, I suppose, and that'll be a bridge event. Lacrosse is going full bore this spring. That field is coming up and running, and it's just all of a sudden now just so much has happened in just a short amount of time in the athletic department. It's a really exciting time to be a part of the athletic department, and I know for one that I'm very appreciative of that fact that I've gotten to see some of these changes come to fruition. And yeah, I mean, any prospective student athlete is going to, I think that a parent would be thrilled to come here just to see the growth of individual programs and the collective athletic department.
Well, in addition to those changes in the athletics department, we're now broadcasting more games than we have ever broadcast through the LMU Sports Network. We too have a new logo. In fact, we are told that we will be doing somewhere around 65 LMU sporting events this year. That ranges anywhere from volleyball to men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, some select baseball and softball games, and we're told this isn't even included in that number. possibility of some lacrosse games depending on facilities. So, folks, you got to stay tuned to the athletics website and to the Railsplitter Athletics Report to find out more about that. Scott, real quick, we've got just a couple of seconds left. Obviously, with the addition of some new sports, it's got to add more to your all's plate. You've got to be slammed in the sports information office.
We are, but I love this time of year. The fall's a lot easier in the spring, but I can't get enough of it. This is what I live for, going out there and working these events and putting the story together and getting it going. It's exciting now. It's here, but it was here before we know it, and now it's done. Now we're here.
Careful what you ask for, you just might get it. Scott, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll close out the show. Stay with us here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi. You mean you were driving? Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
Welcome back to the show. You know, it's a rare weekend in late September when you do not have a home sporting event, but such is the case this weekend. I can speak, I think, safely for the Sports Network and for the Sports Information Office. It's a welcome change as we're able to get out and enjoy a weekend off finally. That said, though, it's not too long before athletics right back in swing here on the LMU campus. I think we've got home sporting events on the 23rd, somewhere around the 27th, 29th, and that'll be pretty much men's and women's soccer and volleyball. But if you haven't been out to an LMU sporting event yet this year, come on out and show your support for the soccer teams and for the volleyball team. The events are 100% free of charge. You come out and show your support for the Railsplitters. Urge them on to victory. Hey, the LMU men's soccer team still unbeaten on the year. They've only had 1 goal scored on them this year. They're 4-0 on the season and ranked number 25 in the country, number 4 in the NCAA Southeast region. Women now back to the 500 mark and trying to pick it up another notch here and get back into the good graces of the conference race. Jenny Michael and her squad 1-0 in South Atlantic Conference play. They're heading out on the road this weekend, and hopefully they'll be victorious. Bring that back here in preparation for next week's match with Tusculum in the Mary E. Mars Gymnasium. So a lot going on. We hope that you can be part of it. If you are on the road and you're watching this and one of our teams are in your area, go out and support the cross-country teams, the golf teams as well. That's all the time we have for tonight. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night, everybody.